Hello, I'm Czardus. Grab some coffee, sit back, and relapse as we build in Cities Skylines 2. Today we are back in our Beginner's Guide series after the Economy 2.0 patch, and we're going to be working on getting that economy a bit more balanced. And let's just go ahead and jump right into it, I guess. So last time we ended with this coal mine over here, which has helped a little bit, but we still have pretty high unemployment. So one thing I want to talk about really quick is the info lays. So up here on info views, up on the top left, you can click on this eye here, and then you've got a whole bunch of information you can get, like roads. You can see how, like, what condition they're in, how your traffic is by clicking on traffic and power and stuff. We're going to come down to this one. We'll talk about more of the other ones at some point later on, but for now we want company profitability. And I like to use this to know what type of zoning to do. You can see commercial, our commercial entities in this city are struggling. There's not a lot of people, not very good customers, and so we don't want to add more, even though we have the demand for it. Down here you can see we've got a heavy blue commercial demand. We're not going to build that because they're not going to do well. It's not going to be efficient, but our industry is very profitable, so we want to add more to that. Now, we used to have a little bit of generic industry over here to start the city, but we've gotten rid of that, and now we want to look at air pollution to decide where we want a more long-term spot for that. We could have some over here, and I think this might end up being a good spot for some, but we don't own that tile. The other spot might be over here, because then the pollution can go that way, and we could eventually just have forestry industry out there, and the forestry doesn't really care about the pollution anyway. And guess what? We already have some land there. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. We don't have the highways unlocked, and I don't want to spend the development points to unlock them. So instead, we're just going to build a road like this. It's not going to be the most efficient, and it is going to cause some trouble, but for now it will get us industry here. So we'll go ahead and do that, and what we could do eventually is make that a little bit nicer, but for now we do have roads here. Now power, we don't have power here because power does not go through the highway, and unfortunately we can't build along the highway because we don't own that land. But instead what we can do is we can bring an electric cable, and we can just use a plain old one here and just bring it right across the water. Not the most realistic setup, but it should get us connected here. And just go like that to the road, and that brings the power. Same thing with water. We don't have water over here, so we're just going to do combined pipe. Make sure that it snaps to that corner and go over here, and we'll just connect it like that. So now we should have power and water over here, and sewage as well, and we can come in here and we're going to get industrial manufacturing, and we'll just put a ton of it right there. Just let it spawn on its own, and we'll see how that affects the unemployment in a moment. Okay, so that is mostly filled in now, and we have much better unemployment, down to 8.5%. So I feel pretty good about adding more stuff, but let's talk about some long-term plans now. Now that we've got some industry over here, and I think we'll probably get more there, what I want to do is eventually I want to have a bridge here, and I think this road would be great for that. So what we're going to do is we'll actually go ahead and start widening this road, and I want it this way. That is going to cost a little bit of money, but it's going to be worth it, and we'll actually redo some of that spot there. But over here, what I want is I want to get this road in place so that we remember that, like, that is where we want the bridge to go, right across there. And so that will feed into here, and let's go ahead and take this out. And I think what we'll do is actually have this road be wider like that, and maybe even come all the way there, and then this one can come in like that. So now we've got a nice solid road there. And this one can be widened here too, because it is going to eventually be a pretty major road. We'll go ahead and widen it now. And that will bring us to our other main road there. So like this is going to be one way to get into the city. And then this is another way into the main city. And I'm thinking, looking at this island will be our core, kind of like Manhattan has its own little island. We're going to do that, and we're going to have other stuff in other spots, but we can go ahead and go and create a district. So to do that, we can come down here to areas, and we want to select, oh, we can't do a district yet. We have to get to the level milestone 4. That always gets me every single time. And I think I really think districts, you should be able to make them at the beginning of the game, but that's not how it works. So then I want to talk about this area here. So now we've got an idea that this whole thing is going to be our main area. And looking at the contour lines, we've got a hill here, which I think we keep that hill the way it is, with the curvy stuff and everything like that. Same thing over here. This road is kind of nice. It will eventually be wider and probably come along here and maybe even cross over that way. But for now, we've got this road coming in here, and then I think we could get a grid coming off this way. And I think I want this road to come here. Yeah, because that can eventually go down that way, and we're going to just go ahead and build it there and bring this in like that. And then this road continue out there. Now this has 2 nodes here, and I don't like that. I think we're in 2 nodes. Maybe not. Maybe it's just one big one. If so, no, it is getting into, yeah, I think we're 2 different nodes there. Just trying to see. Let's take that out, and then this will come in like that. That should bring it to 1 node there. And then here we should be able to click here and continue on that way, and now that should all be 1 intersection. Yeah. And that'll probably be a pretty busy spot, but that's okay. Then this road technically has a little joint in it, so we're going to come in here and make sure it is straight, because I think the planners would make that a straight road. Then here we're going to get a grid off in this direction, and we'll come in like this. We'll get it as deep as we can, and I think we'll go 175 yards as the square. Yeah, that should be good. And then that is to here. It's going to be a pretty big road here, or like a pretty big city blocks. But I think that'll be pretty good in that spot. So then this spot here, I think what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and bring this road in like that. Yeah, okay, so now unemployment is 6%. The budget is still in really bad shape. We're going to come into services, and our biggest thing, and I chose services because you can see here, if you go to over here, you can see that big chunk is the service upkeeps. And so we need to come in and we need to lower some of our upkeeps. I think we'll lower the death care and health care, because I don't think we have any clinic yet. Yeah, so it's all just that death care, and we have plenty of like we've got vehicles in maintenance, we have vehicles ready to be used, we have a big cemetery and not very much need for it yet. So that will lower quite a bit of the service upkeeps. It has to have a little bit of time to update. And then let's check water and sewage really quick too. So water and sewage, we have a ton of water availability, much more than we need. So we should be able to come in here, and the same thing, we can come in and lower that budget considerably. And that lowers the output that we have, but it does bring down the cost, and we're still covered with that. So now that service upkeep should become more and more manageable, which should keep that budget a little bit better in hand. The other thing we can do is we could go to taxation, and we can raise our industrial taxation. We'll go to 12%, and I feel pretty good about doing that because, again, if we come to company profitability, the industry has like suddenly done terrible. So actually, let's pause. We don't want that taxation there. Just keep that a little bit lower. We don't want to take money from them when they are not super profitable. Unemployment is getting lower, so let's go ahead and start adding more people. And we've got these roads coming in. Let's go ahead and add this one down farther. And I'd really like it to end up the same spot as that, but I don't think it's going to happen. We could actually, it does get in there. So let's do this. If we come in here with the simple curve and do that, it gets it pretty straight until the end and just kind of curves off there. And that looks pretty good. Then let's come in here and we're going to bring this road, come in like this, and then we'll get it to here. We want that 90 degrees from the starting node. Click there and then come over like that. And that road feeds in well too. Okay, so now I feel pretty good. We can come in here. Eventually we want commercial along that main road, but for now we can come in and we'll go ahead and get more low density housing in like that. And go ahead and just fill this block here. Because I'm thinking eventually these farms will be gone, but for now, this will get more people in here. We'll do the same thing over here where we get half of the block filled with the housing. We'll save the rest for commercial, and at some point we might want to start adding, we have a little bit of demand for medium density, so we could get row houses in as well. We want to watch that unemployment though, because that is going to affect things as well. And right now, we really want to watch that service upkeeps. So the industry has a low percentage because they are having a little bit of trouble getting people over there. So what we could do is we could buy this tile over here, and I think we'd have to get 2 of them to get the bridge where we want it. That won't cost too much. It will cost $29,000 a month to maintain it, which is a lot of money when we're talking we're already losing $30,000 a month, so we don't want to do that yet. But we do need to get people across there. So what we're going to do is we'll come into the landscaping and we'll go to pathways, and then we'll just get a pedestrian bridge here. How much are these? Pavement path is actually the cheapest. And that is all we need right now. Do that. It's nothing pretty, nothing exciting, but it is going to be effective. We'll do that, and that gets it. Oh, got a nice little tunnel there. That might get some people to come out this way, or like to make their way by foot. And what we could do is we could just encourage that by getting more housing out here. So let's go ahead and work on that. I think what we'll do is we'll bring a road in here. And it doesn't want to come down there for some... Oh, because we've got that power line there. It does not like the power line. It's okay, we're going to pause. And I hit the letter B to bring up the bulldozer, or you can click on the button down there. We'll take that out, and then we'll get this road in place. And then we'll go in, and we'll connect our power there instead, and then unpause. So now we've got some space here to add a little bit more low density residential. And here I'm actually, no, I was going to say I'm going to make it so that they go all the way out on the cliff, but I don't think I will. I think I'll bring them in manually just a little bit like that, and then we'll go ahead and fill in here as well. And let that fill in. And unemployment is at 0% now. So I do think I'm going to add some row homes, and I think we can go ahead and get some of those along the main road here. We'll go ahead with the medium density row housing. Get those right there. Can look out over the cornfield. I think that's corn. What do they do? Oh, livestock. Even better. What a smelly spot to live. We'll get one more block there of the medium density row housing, and that will really bring in a lot more people, because each row house doesn't say, it's not done being built yet, but each row house has more people than the individual ones here. These have like one household, whereas the row houses should have at least 3, I believe. Yeah, this big row house has 6 households in it, so that will bring a lot more people with it, and that should help that unemployment rate do a little bit better. Yep, 8.3%, which should help those industries get a little bit better profit. 52%, yeah. So now we should have people walking on this footpath. Yeah, you can see a few of them walking that way, walking to work across the lake, river. What is this anyway? Well, it looks like a coast. It comes in here. Interesting. But anyway, how are we doing now? 10.6%. So industry should be, yeah, that is looking a little bit better. And our budget is getting much more balanced as well. So that's good too. Service trade is a big thing here. Right now, we are importing our electricity. And that was a choice we made at the beginning. We decided that we would just put the substation here and import our electric. And I think that might still be an okay thing to do. At some point, we might want to get some wind turbines, though. Oh, milestone 3 unlocked. We're now a large village. Look at that. So we got another little grant. We got some development points, and we got more expansion permits. We also unlocked ore mining, fire and rescue as a development tree, police and administration as a development tree as well. And now we're one step closer to Grand Village when we can build districts. But anyway, if we come in here to electricity, we're using 5 megawatts, which is actually about what we could do with 1 wind turbine. So we could buy 2 of these, or build 2 of them, if we have a spot that is windy enough for them, which we don't really have that. So unfortunately, that's not going to work. So you can tell by moving this around, and like, first of all, we can't get it here because that overlaps things. But here you can see it's giving me a warning, wind speed too low, and it's showing the electricity production is like just 1 megawatt instead of the 5 that it should be doing in an ideal spot. So this map is not going to work for that. It's too flat. It's not going to give us the wind electric that we need. So then our only other option, if we don't want to be importing anymore, would be a small coal power plant, which would generate more air pollution. But technically, we could fit it out over here. And it is a little bit tempting. It would generate how much? 20 megawatts. So it would cover what we have for a long time, and we could actually maybe start making money, which we are making money right now. Taxes have gone up enough that we're making a little bit of money. So that's really good to see. 15% unemployment. Our industries are probably doing a bit better. 60%. Still not great, but it is a little bit better. I am a little tempted to build a small coal power plant, and I think this would be the way to do it, the spot to do it here. So what we're going to do is we will come in here And we're going to terraform a bit. And we'll level this off. About like that. We'll come out this way too, kind of fill in that spot. And we want to take out the trees. So we'll come in and we'll right click, turn off snapping. And then we can take out all of the trees that are in there by right clicking and holding that down. And then we want to come in here with our power plant. And we want it to be back in here. I'm slowly rotating it a little bit. I want it right here. Which is going to be a little bit of a pain with the power line there. But we can do this. We want to actually bring this all the way across. Because there's a small transformer here which will connect to the power line in the road. And then we can also bring this road, let's say, actually, let's get it to curve a tiny bit. Like that. That'll be good. And then, I don't think we've unlocked parking lots yet. No, we have not. So we could do that, and then we could get a parking lot here, which also could help feed the industry itself. Let's do that. We're going to come in here. We want to go to development. And then we can go to parking areas. It's going to cost 2 development points, but it will be worth it. Going to come in here, and first of all, actually, we need to get this power station hooked up. So we're going to bring this out, and we will actually go underground here. So I'm going to hit page down, and we're going to bring this all the way across our city. And then we'll bring it over here and then connect back there. So now our power, which should be connected by sewer, it's mad. Water available. Oh, we need a lot more water now. So we're going to go to water back in the budget. We'll go to services. This needs to be increased again. Let's go to 75% and see what we're at with that. Yeah, we've got the water now. So now this should be operating, and it should be generating 20 megawatts. It will cost a lot of money, but that's a lot more than we need, so we are sending it out. And that is not great, actually. Service fee. We're exporting, we're making 37,000, but it costs 114,000 to maintain. So that is a little bit of a problem, but we're going to be fine. We're going to come in here and we'll go to parking lots, and we'll get a pretty big one here. Actually, we'll go ahead with a large parking lot. It again is going to cost money, but it's going to look cool. And we're going to get a path here, so that people who work in the industry area, slope too steep, come on, there we go. They can come park there and walk the rest of the way. And now we're going to check unemployment, 2.2%. Let's go ahead and get more row houses in. And we'll put them, this is kind of like a park here. We'll put them in here. But not in the park itself. I want to leave that as park space. We'll upgrade the zoning here to row homes, and they can look onto the park. We'll let those fill in. And we've got a pretty solid amount of unemployment now that those buildings have filled in a little bit more. And what we want to do then is, again, we'll check the profitability. I mean, we've got a little bit more possibility of getting more industry. That is out here. What is this guy? Oh, we're complaining about... great. We need to get some garbage. We need a landfill, and I think the problem with the landfill is it is pretty expensive. No, the problem is it's pretty big. It's going to need another tile. And that is a problem. I think we'll have to go over here because these are the 2 tiles we want, so we can get the bridge in there. Go ahead and buy this one. It's going to cost us more money. Our budget is really struggling. But the other thing, we can come in here and we're going to go to electricity. We're going to lower the budget, which means we're going to be exporting a little bit less. We'll increase the service fee. And that is going to increase the amount that we're earning here. And actually, we'll see a decrease here in service trade. It's going to be a problem. Service upkeep. We're, yeah, it's a balance there. But anyway, we're going to come in here. We'll go ahead and we'll get a landfill out this way. Bring that road a little bit further. And we'll get the landfill somewhere around here. Let's bring the road this way now. And then we can put the landfill here. And we'll bring this out. Go right to the shore. And as much of that tile as we can. Not going to be able to store a ton here, but it will work. It will work. And it will solve the crisis that is brewing by there being, especially here, the groundwater pumping. Because if this ceases to function because the garbage is piling up, then we will stop having water, and that's not what we want. But what we do want is more people. Actually, more jobs. 29% unemployment. Let's go ahead. We're going to come in and we'll put in a little bit more commercial. So we've got a little bit there. We'll get some there too. So that'll get a little bit more jobs coming in. And I think we'll go ahead and buy this tile, and then we can get this bridge in. I wonder if we can put it over the landfill. I don't think we can. Go ahead and buy that. And we will get this bridge in. Let's just check this. If we're elevated... No. We can't go over the landfill. Which is going to be a problem because... Well, actually, it'll be okay. Because we're going to come along here. Let's come back down. And bring this down the elevation step to as low as we can. And we're going to bring this. And I'm hitting page up now just to get this to be about level. You can see the plus 7% there. I want that to be about 0. As close to 0 as I can get. So we'll come in here. So that is flat there. And then what we're going to do, I'll switch to the 4-lane tiered archway here. We'll get that at about 180% and then go up. Negative 0.4 is about where we can get it here. And then we'll switch back to the 4-lane road. That is going to tell me slope too steep. But if I come along here and curve, and then bring it down, then we get down to negative 0.3. And then we'll bring it along this way. And for now, we will bring it in like that. Again, not the best way to get the traffic here, because the traffic on the highway is going to have a couple red lights there, but it is going to make things a little bit more efficient and make things make sense long term. And in the meantime, we can come in here and we can get more industry in here, which is going to lower the unemployment rate. This is definitely not a long-term spot for that landfill, but it will work for now. And we're really watching this. That monthly balance is pretty bad, but we're going to get there. Sometimes it is a bit stressful because we are going to see a lot there, but we're going to get another little grant here, and that will help us a bit with some of that as well. Got a fire over here in the industrial area, but we do have roads to get there, so the fire truck will get there eventually. I believe if they would come. In the meantime, we've got that fire. It is what it is. Unemployment should go down 5.9%. So we can come in and get more people. It's all about getting that balance back in. And so what I want is we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of medium density housing. This will be like pure apartment buildings. Put that here. And then we'll get more row housing along the edge of the park here. And that will increase the density in that area. And then what I want to do is I think I want to build out into this area with more low density. So we'll come along here. We've got a hill, but we can bring this road through here and along like this. And actually bring it all the way down to there. That will be pretty good. And then this road, I'm going to make it smaller here, like that. And then this can continue along this way. So the important thing, we're at an early stage in the game, and that means that the budget is going to be a bit stressful. The important thing is to not panic and to keep going slow and doing things that are going to help your city. And that's what we've been doing. We've been making solid choices that will eventually lead to the city being in great shape. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not a stressful time to be building, because it is. I mean, we're struggling. The city is in a struggling spot right now, but it's going to be fine. Basically, don't panic. Don't hit that panic button. Don't be like, oh no, oh look, there we are. Milestone 4, unlocked Grand Village. We got a nice grant, 100,000, which will help for a while. And we got some more development points and more expansion permits. And then, of course, we get the district creation tool. We've got some policies unlocked that we can do. If you're playing with natural disasters, they will be, they might happen now. So I hope you've planned that. We are not playing with the natural disasters. I prefer not to do that. We can see transportation overview, and we can do low rent housing, which is a high density thing, but it is really finicky to get it in the right spot. And so I actually don't typically do low rent housing. If we need to, we might end up doing it, but I don't think we will. We can also get offices, which we don't have the education for yet anyway, but transportation, we can do bus lines, we can do taxis, and we can build some parts as well, which will add some recreation stuff. And we can import city services. We can say that we want to do that, or we can say that we don't want to do that by not having it. So back to road building. We are getting stuff in here. We want to bring this along here. And I do apologize if you can hear, we've got the lawn services here to mow the grass. And I let them go for a little bit without the interruption, but then I decided I just want to play. So you get to hear a tiny bit of that. And from what I've heard before, stuff like that, people often actually like to hear it because it brings more connection to the between me and the viewer. This road is pretty straight here, and I'm going to keep a road here, and then we'll bring this actually that way, and we'll bring a road through here, and then bring this along in here, and like that. And then this one can curve in like this, and then we'll get a nice little simple curve here. I don't like that, actually. We're going to take that out and do that again. We're going to come along like that and get a simple curve that way. Okay, now we've got a ton of roads in here. We are ready. We've got high unemployment already. So I don't know how much more we want to do that, but we've got 2 buildings that got burned down over there, so we'll go ahead and replace them. All right, well, I got annoyed with the lawn service. They were getting too noisy for me. And I think I want to move this landfill. So we're going to up and move it. Relocate. We're going to put it over here. And then what I'm going to do, we're going to just bring this out along here for now. And as it fills up, we're going to probably add more land. I mean, that is a common technique in real life too. It's mad at me for being in the wrong spot. Let's come down like that, and then we can edit landfill lot tool. We'll come out this way. Bring this along like that, and in a little bit like that, and over. Now we still have a water issue because water again doesn't go under the bridge. So we're going to connect here. Just build it across like that. And that should have all of that connected. That is operational now. And guess what? Now we have a ton more space for industrial. And this road can come in and then connect. And that is going to get a lot more industry in here. Let's go ahead and we'll bring a road. I'm trying to decide, do we want it down there? I think we do. I think we'll bring a road like that and bring this in that way. We'll take this road out. And then I want a road, a frontage road along the highway here. And this can come in this way. And we'll go like that. And then this is all expanded significantly. So then we can come in here and we can get a lot more industry. And that should help our unemployment rate get much better. And again, once we get more balance, we're going to get this in better shape. The taxes will go up, and we will be closer and closer to where we want to be. Once that unemployment rate, oh, look, it's already down. Let's go ahead and start adding more low density housing in here then. So we don't want to get too close to the power station, but we can come in here, and actually this needs to be row houses there along that park to kind of keep with that style. We'll leave this space open for commercial, and in fact, let's just go ahead and zone that now before we forget. And then we'll come back over here and get more low density residential in here. Okay, and all of that has filled in and our budget is balanced. We are making money, so I feel good about that. And it's good. Unemployment is in a good spot that we can continue adding, but look at this. We really need a medical clinic now, and we have some crime scenes as well. Let's go ahead and go to healthcare, death care, and we have a couple options for medical clinics. We can do a small one, which would be good if this was a really rural spot on the map, which it's not. So what I want is the standard medical clinic, which is going to cost about twice as much, actually a lot more, but it's going to have a better capacity and 5 ambulances. We will need it before too long. So we'll go ahead and get that, and I'm going to put it over in here, which is eventually going to be a more commercial spot anyway. So we'll go ahead and get that in here. And then for police, we'll go ahead and come over here to police and administration, and we'll get a police station in here as well. It doesn't quite fit, but it does fit this way. So we'll go ahead and get that in there. So now those are going to cost more money, and they cost a lot of money to build. So now again, we're going to have that negative monthly balance a little bit, but that should settle out because our healthcare coverage is going to improve, which will get the happiness a bit better and probably end up raising some of the wealth and some of that. We do have a couple buildings over here that have burned down. We don't have a fire department. That is why we have been having fire issues. We'll go ahead and get a firehouse in. And will that fit in here? Not quite. That's okay. We'll get it right over here. It's going to cost a lot more money, and now we're like almost out of our money. So now we are in a pretty tight spot, but if we come and look at profitability, industry is okay now. So we're going to come in here and we're going to raise the taxes on industry by 2%, and that is going to greatly increase the profitability, or increase the city's profit, and hopefully balance that budget. That industry profit is going to go down a bit, but that's okay because now we're providing more services, so we should see a little bit better. We've got vehicles in use here. We don't have a ton of educated people, but we do have enough that they can work here. We just need more of that, and we need the vehicles to go out. 4 vehicles are in maintenance already. Efficiency is low because the service budget is low. So we're going to go ahead and increase the service budget for healthcare now, which again is going to hurt that budget a lot, but it will improve that efficiency significantly, which will make more vehicles go out and help some of this healthcare stuff. So that reliable healthcare coverage is going to improve. People are getting happier, and that will help everybody all together. Unemployment is low. Let's go ahead and get more people. I'm going to go ahead and zone the rest of this now. And that budget is still struggling a little bit. So we're going to come in and we're going to increase taxes on both commercial and industrial. We don't have any offices, so that's not going to make a difference right now, but that will improve things a little bit. And hopefully we don't see too much of an impact. Yeah, happiness, they have the high taxes penalty now, but we do have a little bit better on other things, and that unemployment rate is still in good shape. So we're going to continue increasing our density. And I think what we'll do is we'll come over here and get more increase in density here along the main town. We have unlocked a signature building. We're not going to worry about that just yet. We'll let that fill in and get more people in here right now. Okay, now one thing that's come up is we've got traffic that builds in here. So one thing we're going to do is we'll go to roads, and then we can come in. We need road services. So we're going to go and we're going to go back to the development tree, and we're going to use 1 point to get advanced road services, which means we can now come in here and we can adjust things. We can add a road maintenance building that will cost us a lot of money, and so we're not going to do that, but it would improve the maintenance of the roads. Or we can click on traffic lights here, and we're going to come in here and right click, and it's going to remove the traffic light. So now cars on the small road are going to yield to the bigger road, and that is going to help things flow much better because the big road is not going to have to stop, and they can fly right through there essentially. We're going to do that some more on other intersections as well. Basically, I want to do that anywhere that we have a small road meeting a big road. But here we've got a big road. Actually, this is a small road here, so they can turn, and that will be fine. But taking out the traffic lights is going to greatly increase the speed at which people can get through. Now here we've got 2 big roads meeting, so we'll keep a traffic light there. But then over here we can take these ones out. Here, this is a pretty intense spot, so we'll keep that one. And then here it's a big road and a big road, so we'll keep the light there, but we'll get rid of all of these ones. And then same thing here, get rid of that one. So now that should make everything flow quite a bit better, that traffic. And the other thing we're going to do while we're at it, you're going to get rid of this power line that we built because it's ugly, and we don't need it because the power is going through the bridge, which it's interesting. The water and sewage doesn't go through the bridge, but the power does. And we have enough people walking across this bridge that we're going to keep it, even though it doesn't look the greatest. I think that'll be fine. And look at that. We now have a positive budget. So we are in good shape. We've got good unemployment that we can start to add more jobs again. But for now, that's where we're going to leave it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You've learned something. Be sure to click on the video on the screen. It should be the next one in this beginner's guide. If it's out. If it's not out, then it'll be a different video that you like. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Take care.